Hi, I'm Brian Mayne. I'm the creator of goal mapping, an amazingly simple yet incredibly powerful way of setting and achieving goals that has now reached more than 5 million people around the world. In the 26 years since I started teaching this simple system for success, I've been so inspired by the many messages I've received from people sharing with me their story and how goal mapping has helped them to achieve something very meaningful in their life, and often it's touching the lives of others. I'm making this series of recordings to share that inspiration with you. I truly hope it helps you to aim big and achieve your greatest dreams. Let's watch the interview. Hi, Sega. It's great to be with you again. And thank you for making the time to share your story and things you've achieved. I know goal mapping has helped you. We've first met 2014. I've been so inspired by what you have done within your country and helping so many people. And I know that your story will inspire a lot of others. So if you could tell us who you are, where you live, what you do, and I know you have a goal map that you'll share in a little while, and talk us through how that map has helped you.
All right. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure being here with you again. Haven't met you a while back, I think 2014, at a turning point of my life personally. And it was more or less something that has been orchestrated divinely, and I'm glad that I met you. My name is Segun Sega Awosanya, Segalink for short. I'm a futuristic brand, media, tech, research, business, and strategic digital communication consultant who is also deeply involved in nation building. And I've been doing this via my numerous advocacies, that has helped Nigerians find succor. I enlighten young Nigerians daily from my Twitter handle, Segalink, and Quora handle towards political awareness, social economic development, political participation, and national integration. I sit on numerous boards across business sectors. I'm currently the CEO of Aliens Media and the founder and president of Social Intervention Advocacy Foundation. I'm the convener of NSAS Reform Police NG, an advocacy that sought to end police brutality in Nigeria. Nigeria is in Africa, for those who may not know. I also run an organization that is called, or an advocacy that is called Rise as One. There's another one called Responsible Parenting, and there are numerous advocacies. And I would love to share my goal map with you to see how I structure most of the things that I run and how I make and what I'm working towards in order for people to have a proper understanding of what makes me tick. Thank you, Brian. I hope I've been able to do justice.
I will bring up the goal map, and I think the thing that first so touched my heart when I met you was the deep passion you have, the deep care to want to make a difference in the world and to help other people. And you had some big goals. Let's bring up your goal map so people can see it. If I just find it here, yeah, and I'll make it bigger so that we can zoom in a little.
Okay.
If I scroll it down, so we have the main goals right here in the center.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so can I go?
Yeah, whenever you wish. And you can see it okay yourself?
Yes, I can see it. I can see it myself. Yeah, the main thing, that's been bugging my mind from age 6 had been to live a life of purpose, to leave a legacy, for unborn generation, to do something different that my parents and forebears have not been able to accomplish. Because I believe mostly that we're not in this world to earn a living, pay bills, and then die and be forgotten. That we need to do something both for ourselves, both for our families, both for our environment and our nation, and for communities around us, and the globe and the world all over. And so with that, I believe that there is a way we can bring hope to our world. And I put a target for myself and my organization and everything surrounding me that by the February 11th, 2030, we'll be able to have to make impact and make the world better. It's starting from where I stand in my own country, and that's 2030. So towards that vision, I have three major headings that things I really wanted to accomplish, ranging from leaving a sustainable legacy for generations to come, two, to make Nigeria the most desirable nation to live in globally, and also to ensure that all the work that we do have enable us to build a nation where peace, justice, equity, fairness shall reign. And it began with creating a platform that will raise youthful leaders. Over the years, we've been engaging youth across Nigeria, into across the world, because Nigeria, if you pick four people globally, four black people or five black people globally, you're going to find at least one or two Nigerians. So Nigerians are all over the place in diaspora. So we've been mentoring people, we've been working and showing our work. Because again, one of the most important ways of getting people to understand and imbibe your culture is to do something that people can see, that can inspire people enough to, preach to themselves, to motivate themselves. People say people are motivational speakers. I don't believe they are motivational speakers. I believe they are inspirational speakers who help people motivate themselves. Because from Brian Mayne's teachings, the brain itself has chemicals in them, which enables us to enable us to heal ourselves. So your feelings, the way you see the world, the way your perception, and the way you control the chemicals in your body, your feelings generally actually heals or poisons you. So with that, starting from the individual level, I've been able to govern myself enough to create a platform that can sustainably raise other people to find themselves and find purpose. So with that, you cannot. There's a saying that goes that you cannot make a man a bishop unless he's a bishop in his own home. So with that, for you to be able to build a legacy after finding yourself, after understanding who you are, you need to be able to begin that influence and impact within your own family. I have my family, I have my children, and I'm building a legacy, beginning from my own household to show them that leadership, to culture that leadership in my own children. If my children can understand it, then my principles and my policies, then the world will understand it better. Because if you cannot get your family to even join you in the things that you're doing, if you don't have that family support, as it were, it will be difficult for you to, paint another picture outside. So I'm happy that the pressure in my bottle and the pressure outside my bottle is equal. So there's really no need for compression. So there's a balance. So the children are there, the family is there, and they understand what work is being done, and they are living that particular vision themselves. So if I'm gone tomorrow, I'm sure that not only my family will continue this legacy, but the world over, who have seen and experienced the work that have been done so far. So next,
authentic leadership.
Yes. So also I moved to finding common ground and galvanizing the people to establish the needed political will. I've realized that globally we find it difficult to communicate ideas in ways in which people can embrace, they can understand, in which people can relate, in which people can empathize. In Nigeria, for example, people don't feel a problem is their problem unless they face that problem, or they feel the pulse on the street, or they feel the beating of the heart of the people involved, or the thing actually happens to somebody in their household. Police brutality used to be in reported speeches where people say, oh, this happened to somebody, thank God it's not me, so there's nothing I can do about it. But over time, we're able to create that common ground, to bring it home, where everybody can feel the pulse of the individual that is affected, knowing fully well that if nothing is done about this problem, then it too could be me tomorrow. So with that, we're able to create that sense of empathy, sense of responsibility, where we become our brother's keeper. And that's exactly what I mean by political will. Because again, government don't do anything unless the people who power belongs to, begin to agitate for it, or support the agitation or advocacy for that. Again, it's not just about the sentiments. It's not just about the discontent, or it's not about the fight against what we don't want. It's about knowing what we want. It's about understanding what's at stake. It's about understanding the problem enough to understand the need to find extant laws that are available to fix the problem sustainably, or to create new laws if they need be, or repeal and replace the old ones that are no longer measuring up. So these are some of the ways in which we have demassify or interpret or break down into smaller particles the big issues that people see out there, in order to create that buy-in of the public, enough for them to join us in raising our voice, enough for the government to realize that if they don't do anything about this, there's going to be chaos. So with that, they give it the necessary attention and they prioritize the issue to the point of making laws and creating a sustainable platform through which those problems can be addressed. And one of the greatest of those problems, one of the most deadly, is the police reforms in Nigeria. Because researchers over the years have found that if police problem can be solved in Nigeria, half of them have been sorted. But unfortunately, been no political will enough to fight this issue or to confront this issue in 90 years of the life of the police institution in the country. But we're glad that from the movement of 2017 till date, we have been able to succumb, that by fixing for the first time that policy, that have been keeping Nigerians hostage for over 90 years. So
I know you've been you've been in the media quite a lot in Nigeria, but also other countries. Is it a popular message that you have here, or are people still afraid? It sounds like you've put your own self at some risk and maybe made yourself unpopular with some people because you're looking to change a system that obviously many people benefit from, even though the system may be wrong and it may be corrupt. There'll be people that are benefiting from the way things are. You're wanting to change a lot of things. So do you think you have the support of the public? Is this an inspirational message for many people?
Yes, actually, majority of people feel that this is something that needed to be done. Of course, at the beginning, people were afraid for my life. People were giving counsel. In fact, some of the first few messages that I got was that I should take care of my family, I should take care of myself, I should be aware. Someone even said they had a dream that I was murdered, and there were so many things, that could have discouraged me at the beginning. But because I was focused, I kept looking at my goal map. I kept seeing hope, and I kept seeing a better country. I kept seeing leaving a legacy behind for our children, my children, and children of people I probably have not met. And I felt that vision is bigger than me seeking security. Sometimes when we're seeking safety, we give up our freedom. And I definitely would not want to give up my freedom because I want to be safe. Or I want to have a semblance of safety, which eventually, if you pursue, you will lose both freedom and safety. So with that, I wasn't prioritizing my own safety. I was focused more on what will happen for Nigerians as a whole, and also by extension, my family and other people's family who probably are not represented politically. So I felt it was necessary to build this structure, to build this foundation, to build something that would begin to, apart from creating awareness through advocacies, that will give people a voice, also to fix the criminal justice system, beginning with the police. And with that, I've been able to use my partnership, Aliens Media, my company, United Nations, UNFPA, Wellbeing Africa, SIA, Social Intervention Advocacy Foundation. And then with all this work, we've been able to make our country work for everybody. Right now, we're now having a national dialogue, which had been impossible before now. Of course, I've made a lot of enemies in the process, not consciously, but based on the fact that some things I will do for free, some other people have been doing it for years, taking advantage of the vulnerable in society, and that's how they make their own living. So when they see that you do these things for free, something that if they do, you can imagine people doing social work for a few months and then claiming that they spent 20 million on legal. And we've been doing legal representation across Nigeria, not just in a state, across Nigeria for years. And we have never said, because we are doing this is how much you spend, we want people to come and pay back. God has been merciful enough and gracious enough to provide for us when our needs arise, when the need arises. So, and with this, we are not obligating anyone. We're just saying, can we have a better country? Can we live the world better than we met it? And that's exactly what the goal map has helped me achieve. we have been able to build a culture that is positive enough. We've been able to create, something that before now has been seen to be an impossibility. And with that, people are building on it. And already we're seeing different organizations and different people talk about the NSAS. Now NSAS is now looking like, that's for short anyway. The real advocacy is NSAS Reform Police NG. NSAS is the objective which has been met. The police unit that is responsible for majority of the brutality have been shut down now. And we are ensuring that what will replace this will not be a continuum of the culture of impunity. And so with that has been sorted, and we are monitoring the system, evaluating the new system to ensure that we don't fall back into where we're coming from. So I'm glad that we are not yet out of the woods. We're still working on fine-tuning a lot of things with the government, with all arms of government, and we're also ensuring that we monitor every activity and we give people the feedback that is needed. Now, people know now that they have representation, not just in my person, but in a system that we even live on when I'm not there. In a system they can call their very own. In a system that they can take ownership in. In a system where they can be responsible for. A system that they can actually check. They can actually query. They can actually also contribute to. And with this, we're able to strengthen our own network. We're able to build a new generation of leaders who can do the unexpected in order to bring about change that benefits everyone. I think over time, I just want to say the main vision of creating a better nation, a better world, and creating hope for the people is there, and it can be replicated. People can actually do more, on their own end, based on the inspiration from this story, and then begin to build their own nation from where they are. The leadership to us is not about you sitting on the pinnacle of the pyramid. It's about leading from where you are. It's about shining your light, like you said when you came to Nigeria. Shine your light, shine your eyes and shine your light, so people feel that light and they can fetch from the light without you diminishing. And I think that's phenomenal for people to build on. And I think we're doing well and we're doing great, and there's a lot of ground more to cover as we proceed.
That was one of the things that really stood out to me when I came to Nigeria, was the expression "shine your eyes," to look in a good way. And I had many people say it to me. And of course, I run a program called Shine. So it was a very meaningful thing when I heard it. I was very touched by being in Nigeria and loved my presentations. And it's been great to stay actually connected with so many of the people that I met there. And it's had a big influence on me. You mentioned just now that really there are not motivational speakers, there are inspirational speakers that help people to be inspired, and from the inspiration comes motivation. And it's something I absolutely agree with. And I'd like to move to the top of your goal map and to ask you, what inspires you? What inspired you to create your goals in the first place? What inspired you to get on this purpose, this mission you have to help change things in your country and to make a difference? And how do you stay inspired? What is it that you do that helps you to be motivated on a daily basis? I'm sure you have some days when things go wrong. So is there something in particular that helps you? And we can see your reasons why you're at the top of the map here, your inspirations.
It's been a long time coming. Nigeria is not a baby. Nigeria is the independence-wise, we're over 60 years. And to think that Nigeria will continue to be referred to as a third world country, where we have geniuses and people that you have met yourself, who that if they even decide to go political and take leadership of the country, Nigeria will be greater than any country in the world. And to have people like that in such a country, and we have been continuously being led by the worst of us, then there need to be something that we need to do in our own space, even if we're not going political, to raise generations of leaders who will know what to inspect, who will know what to expect, who will know how to demand what they want specifically, without just saying we want a new leader who will make us happy. that's vague because you're not saying specifically what problem you want solved. So with that, I'm inspired, with the solutions that I know I have within me and with the that I know I have with people like you and people I've met, people I've worked with over the years across the globe who know quite well the magic that we can make when we come together. But all this, when we come into Nigeria, there seems to be a shadow, a dark cloud that comes over us that makes nothing, that makes all these ideas useless to us. So we're trying to break that jinx by saying, look, regardless of what we may have as a problem or a limitation in Nigeria, we can actually begin to build minds. We can actually begin to raise new leaders instead of focusing on being a success ourselves. I think we have been over concentrated as a nation, as a people, on ourselves in trying to have individual success instead of having generational success. And success, of course, can be defined by a lot of in various ways. To some people, it's having a lot of money. To some people, it's having cars, having homes, having that. You and I have done that. We've played, we've been DJs, we've enjoyed life, we've achieved a lot of things. We've bought, we've driven cars of our dreams, but all those things don't really fulfill. And that fulfillment, something that brings fulfillment as simple as a smile from somebody who you've probably never met, who feels happy, who feels fulfilled, who feels accomplished based on something that you did at the other end. Based on something that may look insignificant that you have made happen for them without actually touching them personally. So, and that's one of the things that inspired me that, look, my life is a story. My life is more or less, paving way for a new Nigeria. So with that, I need to watch the things that I do. I need to watch, even when I fail, it's a lesson. I don't lose, I learn. So that's some of the things that actually keeps me going. Not that I've not seen things that make me wake up and say, let me just pack this up and do like every day, like the Joneses. But every time I look at my goal map, I'm inspired to say, look, where am I on this goal map? What have I been able to do? What more can we do? How many people are we raising? Have we been successful in raising a militia of generational and youthful leaders who will be easy to govern, difficult to rule, and impossible to enslave? So when I keep asking myself questions and I see new people, new crop of leaders coming up and sharing their own ideas, building on the things that were put on ground, I feel inspired. And these are ways in which you can actually live and then die and then live again. Because once you are gone, once you have transited this earthly realm, this flesh that is covering our spirit and all, we'll continue to live on in the minds of millions of other people who are going to come and occupy the earth and then pass it on to other people. And this is how culture is passed from one generation to another. The development of the United Kingdom, the development of Isles of Wight, the development of America is based on a culture. So what culture are we igniting? And that's exactly what inspires me to create the hope that I'm looking forward to for Nigeria, for my family, for myself, and for generations to come.
Beautiful. And am I right in saying that Nigeria has the biggest population in Africa?
Yes, you're right.
70 million people, something maybe? Yes, and that's one of the things that also inspires us. If you look at the examination of and you have keen observation of great countries gifted with less than our kind of youth population, you will see that if you invest in these are actually our oil. These people, this population is actually our resource. If you invest in that, you can imagine how many nations you have in each individual. In a country of 200 million people, we have over 70 million people who are youth. Which means whatever you pour into these people will last for generations. It will outlive you as a person. And so that's exactly our own formula. That's exactly what we're looking at Social Intervention Advocacy Foundations here. That's what we're building, into these people. We're impacting these people. Whether they are not to accept us as a leader or as a ruler or anything, but we're doing it from where we are, inspiring them from where we are, building them from where we are, creating an enabling environment for them to be themselves, for them to express themselves, and for them to be their best. And this is how we can actually grow, the country, by growing the people. How do you think your life has changed? What has been some of the main changes in your life generally since becoming very conscious with your goal setting? You were obviously setting goals before me and you met in 2014. I know the goal mapping technique, because it's simple, helped you to collect your ideas and those things. I know that you've appeared many times now in the media, as I mentioned earlier, and so I've seen how your life has changed, but I'm sure there's many more changes I'm not aware of. And what do you think are some of the main ways your life has changed, or in yourself you have changed because of this great sense of purpose you have?
Yeah, I'll put it in in simple terms. The things I used to do, I do them no more. There are times when you take a lot of risk and you do certain things, but now I have to think like a leader. I have to think not like a ruler, like a leader, because a lot of people are watching you. A lot of people are learning from you. A lot of people, their perception of you is probably different from the perception of yourself for yourself. So
Yeah, for sure.
you need to know that the actions that you take, the decisions that you make, might determine your destiny at the end of the day, or they most definitely determines your destiny at the end of the day. So because of that, and because a lot of people are watching you, and because every time something happens in Nigeria, people want to know what you think about it. People want to know your perception about it and your perspective from the thing. Leadership are listening to you. The followers are listening to you. Your peers are listening to you. The generations behind you are listening to you. So it's a serious. My life is no longer the way it used to be. There are certain things I can get away from. I don't usually go to places I normally like to go and feel free any longer, because you always have people coming around to say, "Oh, are you Sega? Or can I have a picture with you? Can I do this? Can I do?" So it's not, you're no longer living a public life per se. You have to be very private now. And with that, you are engaging a lot of people. A lot of people call you. A lot of people send messages and the rest. So with that, I see my life now changing from the role of just a parent and a father to my immediate family. I'm a father to a lot of people now. And so I have to be far more responsible than ever, not just for the sake of being a venerable as such, or being somebody who has been pedestalized. No, I'm speaking from the sense of personal responsibility. I have to take serious responsibility for my actions. So with that, anything I know that I will do that will cause that will hurt another person somewhere else, by copying what I've done, that I would certainly not do such things, even though I might really want to do it from my own heart. It might be something I want to try out, but I really wouldn't take such risk again. And I think over time I've been far more responsible. Over time I've been far more dedicated to the vision, and I'm trying my best to be able to live up to the expectation of that particular vision. And the vision is great. It's not something that comes to an end. It's like creating hope, ensuring that the ray of hope is there for all to see. Because once you remove hope, human beings are no longer humans. We're all animals living by instinct. So hope must be there. That light must continue to shine, must continue to glow. And the best way to shine that light is to create a structure that will outlive us. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So my life has really changed since we last met. And I know that wherever I go, if I decide to come and settle down in the UK today, my influence in Nigeria and the impact in society, in the Nigerian society and the world at large, will not cease, because your presence and the platform that you've built is there and it's sustainable. And that's exactly what was planned initially. And I'm glad that we're working according to plan.
It shines from you that you're very conscious, and that responsibility, of course, is part of the price that a person pays in order to achieve a great goal. And you're certainly paying that price. And of course, I love what you said about leadership, because all of us can look to be a leader in holding ourselves to a higher standard as best we can in our situation, because it's an example for the others around us.
Yeah.
Here on your goal map, we've got an achievement date of 11th of February. Do you know that's my birthday, 11th February?
Yeah, we share the same birthday. It's my birthday as well.
That's right. We have the same birthday. So 11th February 2030, it's a long-term goal. And we have the bottom part of the map, for people that are new to it, is like a mini action plan. I'm just going to zoom out a little, because on the right-hand side, we have three main things that will need to be done in order to move towards the achievement of the main goal here in the center that we looked at the top of the reasons why. And so now, if we look at the actions, and then opposite the actions, of course, we have some of the people and organizations that are involved to help take the actions, achieve these goals, some of them substantial goals, of course, but they are moving you towards that main goal for for 2030. And so with the actions here from the bottom up, we've got the start date of when you originally did the map, 8th of November 2019. And the immediate focus for you was with the criminal justice system here.
Yeah.
And then creating awareness through advocacies that give the people a voice, finding a common ground and galvanize the people. And it sounds like many of these things, if not complete, you've made a great progress on.
Yes, definitely. Right now, the police, one of the criminal justice system, as we speak, is being rejigged, is being tweaked, and police reformation is in full gear. We have been able to create awareness through advocacies that give people a voice, and that's why you hear NSAS everywhere. To the point where in Nigeria now, if there's any problem they want to engage, they call it NSAS. So they want it to, in other words, they are not saying that they are reviving the advocacy, so to say, but they're saying they want the impact of this advocacy to be, evident in the new problem that they are trying to solve. So they use the NSAS hashtag to show if things work for NSAS, NSAS should be able to work for this one as well. So, and we come in to say there is a process, and if we're engaging another problem, we need to design a new process that will make, or succeed in fixing that particular issue. But I understand quite well what they're trying to do each time they use NSAS for virtually anything that they are, engaging. It shows that they have enough faith in that particular advocacy, which means you've been able to create enough awareness through advocacies that people now have that confidence that their voice will be heard when they use those hashtags. And that also explains the common ground that have been created in order to galvanize the people towards establishing the needed political will. Now the people have a voice. They've always had a voice, but it has never been premised on a common ground that can actually achieve anything, because we're always thinking of our differences, and there will be a lot of that. We're all unique, and our uniqueness needs to be understood properly from the perspective of our differences. So if you know that I am different from you, let me know the things that I can strengthen you in. Let me understand my weaknesses and employ them by engaging you where you're stronger. So that's exactly what we've been able to, do to help people come together more and do more towards building a better nation that can work for everyone. So every single process, it's in line. We have followed all this, according to the goal map, and we've been able to achieve most of them, and we're in the process of finalizing that.
It sounds like you have made your voice very heard to a lot of people, and that people have taken notice. If you had a microphone that could broadcast to the whole world, the whole of humanity, what is it you would want to say?
I would want to say that you are enough. In other words, when God created us, He finished the work. There's nothing that you cannot achieve if you set your mind to it. And if you have a goal map, you will achieve anything. So you are enough. There's really nothing that you need to add to yourself. No need to have brain transplants. No need to look like somebody else. Just be yourself and focus on why God made you. There's a reason. And so I would say you are enough. If I have just one word to say to people, or just a phrase or anything, I would say you are enough. Because I've looked down on myself, for quite a while, and I felt, who will hear my voice, who will know my name? And today, there are entries. Today, there's an impact. Today, if God forbid, if God decides to call me today, my name will live on, because we have done stuff that our founding and for our forebears have not been able to achieve in 90 years. And we have been able to set a pace and create laws that will fix Nigeria over time.
I'm so impressed, and thank you so much for taking the time to share both your achievements to this date, and you've done so much, and also this future vision of hope that you hold that will touch the lives of so many people. Is there one last message you would like to leave the audience with?
Yeah, I would just like to say that we should all believe in ourselves. We should strengthen our collaborative efforts and know that we are society. It is not about individual success. It is about our collective success. It is about building a platform that will give a voice to a lot of people. So where they can find expression, where they can be themselves, where they can exercise the leadership from where they stand and impact our world as a whole. We are one. We are society, and that society is the globe. Thank you.
Yeah, bless you, brother. How can people get in touch with you, support you if they're receiving this message and inspired to help you make a difference?
Yeah, I can be contacted via my email address, Sega Siaf, SA social inter siaf.org.ng. I'm also on Twitter at Segalink, Segalink. You can follow me on Twitter. You can send me a DM. You can follow me on Instagram, the same Segalink, at Segalink on Instagram. And we can share ideas. I'm also willing to help, to collaborate with people, to help you find clarity in whatever it is that you're doing, depending on your position in the globe. I'll be able to study your environment and know how best you can reach out to the people and find common ground to be able to push out your message and contribute to global development. Because if it is good for Nigeria, if things work in Nigeria, things will be better for people in United Kingdom, in America, and everywhere, because we are everywhere. Nigerians have impact and influence globally. And then very soon you might be able to see me on your local stations as well, talking about issues that I'm seeking to provide solutions for. A lot of people have asked those questions, and what is the difference between our advocacy and what's happening in America with the Black Lives Matter? And we're able to differentiate specifically what we're doing differently. We are not political. We're not seeking to bring down any government. We're not looking forward to make things worse. We're not incentivizing bad behavior. We're simply saying people can contribute to the world, to the environment, to their community, to their society, by showing responsibility from where they are. We can collaborate rather than just agitate, and we can actually advocate instead of agitating. In other words, it's not just about I don't want this. It's about this is what I feel we can do better. And that's the message we're spreading to the world, and that's the message we're bringing. And with more people planning their time, planning their advocacies, doing their studies, preparing goal maps, we'll be able to specifically be intentional in the things that we do and the change that we'll bring. Thank you.
No, bless you. Bless you for sharing your heart and sharing your story. And I know it's going to inspire many as it's inspired me. I wish you well, my friend. You take care.
Thank you. I owe a lot of thanks to you too for your support, your constant support, and for putting Goal Map in my hands, the resources, the materials, the trainings, the access to the Goal Map resources online. In fact, there's no way I would have been able to express it this way. There's no way I could have been able to articulate it this much, without your influence, without you being my rabbi. Thank you very much, Brian.
It's been my pleasure. You take care.
All right.
I hope you enjoyed the interview and that it inspires you to aim big in your own life. Have a great dream. Use goal mapping to help you to achieve it. If you have a story you wish to share, please do be in touch. You can reach me at brian@goalmapping.com. And remember that when you share your inspiring story of achievement, you're helping to inspire others that also watch it. Thank you for watching today. I wish you all the best. Please be in touch if you have a story to share. I wish you very well for now. Bye-bye.